I would have to say I would describe my working style as being really solution oriented, and the way I like to talk about that and help kind of convey what that means to me is that I call it. I think about it in terms of a confluence, finding a confluence. Like, a confluence, as you probably know, is where two rivers join together and become one. And I think about that in almost every circumstance. It's really how I want to approach solution finding, negotiation, compromise, consensus building. And I want to make sure that I am doing everything I can to fully utilize both or all the perspectives or rivers that are attempting to come together. I like to think about it in terms of confluence instead of compromise, because compromise has a connotation of having to give something up, which I think is kind of a disincentive to find truly blended solutions. I don't think it's true that compromise always means you give something up, but it's certainly an association with the word, implication. So I think one of the ways that I really started to notice how important this was when you have, especially when you're working with like an agency or particularly a web person, and you're the client and the tech person or agency wants to deliver on what you want. So there's a mismatch almost in the relationship right away. But I have worked with a lot of web designer people to help me learn about it and get better at it and build cool websites. And what I've learned along the way, and I've learned this also in managing websites with internal stakeholders, is that when the client or internal stakeholder comes to the web person with a solution, and that might be like, add this menu item to my side menu, or please put a button on the home page that does X, Y, or Z. And those are examples of bringing a solution to the table instead of bringing a problem to the table. Instead of saying, put this thing on the side menu, come to the web person and say, hey, I have this problem, and how can we solve it in a way that works for the technical limitations and goals of the website? Or tech person, I want to accomplish this thing. What's the best way to do that? And making that little shift in thinking allows you to fully engage both parties and make sure that when you are in that client agency relationship, there is not a hierarchy in a way that works to limit the viability of the solution. I mean, and I would also say in a resource-constrained environment, like most of the nonprofits I've worked in, making sure that solutions are efficient, effective, as simple as possible, is stewarding funds, and that's also mission is money. That's making sure that we are putting our resources in the right place and not wasting resources. So confluence finding is how I would describe my working style.